Fun fact, I'm actually wearing 2 of these things because, yay. The Vegas Golden Knights win against the New York Rangers 5-2. Wasn't 5-1 like last time, but it's 5-2 in a different way because that 5th goal was a hat trick goal, so yeah! The first period was similar to the first 10 minutes of the last game that we played against the Rags. A ton of chances for them, not really for us. Vegas was outshot 16-6. Not great. Very similar to that game last week. We score first. Sheldon Rempel, my goodness, your second NHL goal, which is fantastic. I don't know where he touched this one. I definitely thought it was Cotter's, but it's given to Rempel. And I have, like, he immediately reacted as if, like, you know, he did it. So, cool. Just a great story for him. He's in his 15th NHL game on his 4th different team. He played for the Kings, and in the AHL, he kind of tore it up for the Ontario Reign for one of those 2 years. He then went to Carolina, where he played 3 NHL games and didn't really play for the AHL Chicago Wolves either, which could have been because Chicago, that AHL team specifically, it's a little like their own franchise almost. Then he got into 1 game with the Canucks the following year, but with Abbotsford, he tore it up. 69 points in 55 games, 33 of them goals, like that's really good. And then last year in Henderson, he had 63 points in 70 games, and he played 1 game for the Golden Knights in the regular season. He was a -2 though. And with Henderson this year, his point production hasn't been as high as it has been in previous years, like with the Canucks and with Henderson last year even. But Henderson's also been kind of bad. 2 goals in 3 games this year is really good. And he had this 4-goal game with, you know, just since then, he's just been really, it's really cool. He was undrafted. He worked his way up. He's just been grinding and working on his game, and he's got here, and he's done really well with his opportunities. Anyway, we don't go into the second period with a lead because Blake Wheeler snipes one from a corner, which I didn't, yeah, cool, I guess. But in the second period, Vegas, there are games where their second period is absolute garbage, definitely reminiscent of last regular season. But throughout most of the season, apparently our second periods have been really good. We have a +17 goal differential, counting today's, which ties us for 3rd in the league. And today's we got on the board immediately with Keegan Kolazar, who had a breakaway and then snipes it like he's Jack frickin' Eichel. I did not know that he could do that. So like I knew he tips pucks in really well, but dude can snipe it. Great, you know, fantastic. Eichel, without Jack Eichel, the Vegas Golden Knights are 5-1-1. So with our best player out, you can, you know, try to make excuses for losing or just pony on up and keep winning. And Vegas has been choosing the latter. So less than a minute later, Vegas Golden Knights get on the board again. Ivan Barbashev sends one on, and Marchessault tips it in front, and it goes past Shesterkin, who didn't have a good game. He's not had a really good season despite being one of the best goalies in the league a couple of years ago. Okay, but for real, this Waugh Barbashev Marchessault line, Barbie Marshy Waugh. I don't know what it is. It's just clicking super nice. And then we have the Dorofeyev, Stone, and Stevenson line, which has been doing pretty well. Hopefully that line's able to continue because after the second period, Dorofeyev doesn't come back out onto the bench and doesn't play the rest of the game because, you know, we can't go a game without getting an injury. And that's really unfortunate. Dorofeyev was out earlier in the year after he got his teeth knocked out by a puck. Came back and immediately was effective. He's definitely earned a roster spot, I would say, with the way that he's been playing. And so hopefully it's nothing minor, or hopefully it's nothing major, and he's able to come back. He's just fine. It was more maintenance because we were up by a bit. Like, I don't know. But it's okay, because the hottest line in hockey is able to pick up right where they left off to start the third period. Waugh, with a board battle, he wins it, gets it out to Marchessault, gets it up to Barbashev, skates in, tries to take a shot, it's blocked or something, has a follow-up shot that goes wide, but it bounces off the boards and back to Marchessault, who's waiting, has a completely open net, buries it, it's 4-1 Vegas. New York pulls Shesterkin with like 4 minutes left, despite the fact that they're down 3, but you know, you never know what'll happen in today's NHL when leads don't really matter anymore. I mean, when the Sharks were down by like 9 or 10, yeah, but like, and Kapokaka was able to get one. It was off of a rebound, right off of a face-off, and there was nothing Hill could do there. But after that, they pulled Shesterkin again, and I couldn't tell who was going to get it. Stone had a couple of opportunities and missed barely. Petro had one at the beginning of the empty net 6-on-5 that was just like an inch or two wide from about 180 feet back. Howden, you could tell he wanted it. He was trying to go for it, but it ends up being, for the hat trick, Jonathan Marchessault, his second hat trick of the year. He's able to get it in, and it's just great. Jonathan Marchessault, his 5th career hat trick in the regular season. He has 2 in the postseason, 1 last year and then 1 against Colorado a couple of years ago. But his 4th as a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, and that leads the Vegas Golden Knights franchise history. He's been an absolute rocket. He's got 8 goals in his last 6 games, has been dominating in that regard, and just is super hot on that line. Barbashev also has been performing well. Nick Waugh secondary assist, Ivan Barbashev primary assist, Jonathan Marchessault goal. Nick Waugh, Ivan Barbashev, and Jonathan Marchessault being the 3 scorers on a single goal happened twice tonight, once against the Islanders, once against the Devils, once against the Rangers last week on this red hot run. It's beautiful. Adin Hill had a fantastic game. This dude is actually probably underpaid, which you don't really see after, you know, winning your team the Stanley Cup. His contract is 4.9, which a lot of people were saying was steep. I might have been one of them because small sample size, and you never know with a small sample size, but he's been outperforming that way far this year. Our goaltending duo is just phenomenal. Adin Hill should be a Vezina candidate. He's probably not gonna be, which is unfortunate. There were several times where he's just patient, he waits with his glove and his snags pucks out of thin air, like just magic. And it's really, really good. And then immediately after, he's just leaning against the back of the goal post, like not a care in the world. It's actually a pretty good stretch. I started doing it after I saw him do it in the postseason. It's great. Just a great game. I don't know what it is recently with our, you know, top center out, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. That's gonna be it for Game 49's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.